Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first edition, first episode of RnR Talk. And, I've given you the honor, Rhoades and Ror, so put your name first there. Rhoades and Ror Talk, something we're going to be doing before, game days, just a little 10, 15-minute interview here with the manager, Chad Rhoades. Chad, how you feeling?
Good, man. I'm good. Rory, I was thinking about your name the other night. It was kind of tripping me out. The more you say a word, sometimes you get weirded out by the word. And I kept saying your name like Rory. I don't know if his name is like an adjective or is it a verb? Like, is he Rory? Is he a Rory type of guy? I'm excited for that. I was going to go with Rory and Rhoades.
You're going to give me the
R. Yeah, a little bit of R&R though. I'm ready to get kicked off, man. What do you want to know? Because we're up. The camp is finished. We're done. We got opening night tonight. Lineup set in my head, at least initially, before we go through a workout. Because maybe you never know. Might have a late scratch. Hope not. But we do have what we want to roll with in mind. But what do you got for me? And we'll get her kicked off.
Yeah, just take me through first the roller coaster of competition camp. Obviously, lots of ups, lots of downs. The team finished 1-3. A few innings there that could have been cleaned up, but obviously the main thing comes down to is players competing against each other, and now you got a roster that you believe is going to win you guys a championship.
100%. Yeah, the preseason games. The way we stacked them up to start each one of those, we felt good about it. We obviously had a lot of looks to get, especially those 4 games. I brought 38 into camp. I had chopped down 24, so not everybody's playing a full 9. Like, we didn't have a squad that I wanted to roll with ever play together in any of those games, and the ones that were going to play together never played more than 5 innings at one time, just to spread some of those ABs out. But we felt good about what we wanted to happen at those moments in the game with the guys that we were expecting to be leaders, and it turned out the way we wanted to. Obviously, some of the jobs were won and lost in those games, and you saw it came down to some of the back end innings for the pitchers and some of those back half of those games. But I felt like we had all those games in control. We got the right type of guys whittled down from this competition camp. It was not easy, man. Like you said, I call it competition camp, not spring training, because I bring in all these guys. I bring in these guys, 36, 38 of them, and I tell them when I come in, I was like, this is your job to lose. Like, I am not bringing you onto this club with the expectation you're not going to make the club. So anybody that I bring on the club is somebody that I expect to win a job. And man, typically you have out of that number, you'll have 4 or 5 not coming in shape. You'll have 2 or 3 character issues that you got to deal with, and so automatically you get to kind of in your head make a checklist of who's here, who's not, within a week. That was not there this camp. Every single dude I brought in was, like I said, vetted. Man, he was a high character guy. There was no character issues whatsoever. And on the talent side, man, there wasn't anybody that didn't come in ready to roll. So it was played out there in those games, and they did not make it easy. It came down to the last couple of days. Like I said, I saved all 10 of those for the last 2 days of my cuts. You're like, what's the number at? Because I know you got to keep putting that out there. But it was not easy, man, and that's kind of the way we wanted to happen, because the team that was birthed out of that process that we're going to go with, man, we feel really, really confident about.
Yeah, and that's something you've talked about all offseason. You want that change of culture, and you wanted to bring in some more athletic guys. It's something I didn't know coming in here was the team, the roster last year, lacking a little bit of athleticism. I've heard it from multiple people coming in. Obviously, we had just spoke with Dan Weber there, but tell me a little bit more about, the play and trying to get these athletic guys and how that goes on the position side of things, not just the pitching side, but the position side.
Yeah, the position side is kind of what I put a lot of my focus on this offseason. Last year, I felt like I learned my voice and what it means to be a manager, especially the difference between being a manager and coach. The word carries a little bit more weight, and I've always been a pitching guy. For the past 13 years professionally, I've been a pitching guy, pitching coach in every aspect of its way, and I wanted to be a good pitching coach. Jumping into this side was a new challenge. I knew it was going to be a new challenge. I didn't really expect how or know how, but I found out really quick it was just in the way that I had to get to know the position players, just like I got to know pitchers. And so last year, it spent me all season to kind of bring in my type of vibe on the position side, and same with the offseason, bringing in the right type of position players. Not necessarily that I could just communicate to, but that I felt were the best type of baseball player I needed to create a team. Now what we built was, we don't have any monster dudes, or anything, or one-dimensional players on the field. everybody out there, there's so many utility players. You saw in camp, there's guys playing everywhere. And it's not because trying to fill in gaps, it's because they can legitimately play out there professionally. And so it gives me, man, like the ability to use my lineup, use guys consistently. Everybody contributes, and that's the way we want to play. We want to play for the guy next to you. Know what your role is, and I want to put you in your role that's going to help you succeed and the team succeed. And if I do that for everybody and everybody plays a role, we don't worry about the other team, man, we're going to beat a lot of people. And that's the type of team that I put together with some very talented, athletic, competitive guys. You had to be really competitive to get through that camp. It was not on statistics. It was your competitive ability and against each other. And now the competition turns against another team. Like, we are a team competing against another team. You're not a dude facing the dude next to you trying to get on a team. No, like, we are a team now, and we are going to compete together to beat the other team that's come to beat us.
Yep, and that's where that chemistry comes in, and that's when you start building that championship roster there for sure. I'm interested in the coaching style for you. Are you obviously in the major leagues? You'll see starting roster bench players. For someone on the bench, maybe starting off here, how are they going to work themselves into that starting roster, or do you already, just give them those chances regularly?
It's not like they're second-tier players. There's like guys that could go legitimately start on any other club in this league. But my bench players, it is night-to-night specific. It could be based upon because I do have utility guys. Sergio Gutierrez is not going to catch every single game. Who's going to back up and catch? Well, Hank Zeisler. I ended up keeping two position players that can catch games for me. I got Zay Richardson. I got Hank Zeisler. Hank Zeisler's going to get a lot of work back there. So what do I plug in the outfield when Hank's catching? And what do I plug in the outfield the day after Hank catches because he hadn't caught 9 yet, and I know he's going to need a little blow rather than go out in the outfield, so he's probably going to DH. So what do I do? The guys who are on the bench at Johnson, J.B. Burks, and I got Clubber, Langston, Ginder out there. I got those guys who can plug and match. And so we don't miss a beat. We can move the lineup around just a little bit to kind of fill that need that Hank's filling up in that 4-hole. But being able to have so much diversity and move guys around on the field allows me to get everybody working. If you're on the bench, it's doing during the game, every inning. I'm having those guys aware of when I would put them in. Either on the bases, I need a big bag right here. Just keep your legs loose, baby. Look, read the situation of the game. We're up 1. If I need another one, insurance run, and this guy comes up in this situation, gets on base, I need you to get the scoring position for these guys coming up. Or if a guy gets the scoring position right off the bat, hey, I'm going to pinch around you at second base to score this run right here. I need it in. So, like, making guys feel those situations. And the pinch AB. Hey, if it comes up, they bring in a lefty right here. I'm going to take out so-and-so. You're going to pinch it back right here. Get the job done, baby. It's come down to you winning the game on those little moves. And so it's making sure those guys are in it. They're not, like, bench players. Like, no, man. There's at some point during this season, more than once, more than 10 times, the moves that I make for the guys on the bench ready to go to come in and plug in those spots are what's going to help us win games. So everybody's active in it. They're all going to have spots. They all have roles. Some guys are defensive. Some guys are base runners. Some guys are multi. Some guys are going to do both those things. But guys are getting used. And if you want to be able to, like, you're going to get your opportunity. I'm not a guy who skips over and I play favorites. No. I am playing the most competitive, active, ready guys that I believe is going to be best for the team in that moment. If you're facing a righty or lefty, that goes into my decision as well. So there's a lot of things. I'm leaving on the bench and a lot of tools, and I'm going to use all the weapons I got.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am excited to see that situational baseball play out today in a real game, not just exhibition style, but see this team come together situationally. And we spoke about it week 1. I had noticed you have the option here to just keep that one catcher, Sergio Gutierrez, and then you have all these multifaceted guys, Hank Zeisler, Richardson, even Fuentes you've seen behind the plate there. And then even yesterday, I see Sergio Gutierrez taking first base, grounders and pop flies. So, you got a lot of players here that can move to a lot of different plays, and I think that places into that athleticism that everyone's kind of looking for in this roster. Let's flip it over to the pitching side of things. We've kind of crafted together a little bit of a starting 5 rotation here, but today you got Ryan Watson on the bump. Just tell me what you've seen from him early on there in camp.
Like with the article we put out, he didn't miss a beat coming in from last year, man. I thought last year out of the guys that got picked up, I'm not saying those other guys that didn't get picked up didn't deserve their opportunity, but I'm saying out of all the guys that college players I signed and watched pitch, I thought he would be the first one to go. I understand why he didn't at the time, but he's got a lot of innings on his arm. Last year, when he came to us, he finished up with over 100 something. But He's fresh, had a good offseason. He's coming in. His stuff's, he's been 2 to 6 in camp. His stuff's nasty. He looks in shape. He's a little bit bigger, more filled out. He's fresh. He earned that spot, man. He's that type of guy who wants the ball. He doesn't shy from it. He's poised on the mound. Like, he's in control of the game. Like, he wants to win. He's a bulldog, and he's coming after him. So, like, he fits the mold perfect, man, and I'm ready to hand him the ball.
Yeah, and he just has that persona of that ace, that guy that you want to give the ball to. If you're still around talking to him, and even if you're not talking to him, just looking at him, on the bench when he's about to go warm up and pitch, when he's just walking off the mound, he's got that swagger to him that you want to see in the ace.
He has like an air about himself. I told him because yesterday when I set them all in there together, I always talk to them about each other in front of each other, so they know how I think of my perception of them. I was like, man, you're the prettiest guy here. You are the epitome of an ace. You're pretty. Look at you, little baby face, So just busting his balls a little bit. But no, man, he does. He's like, he carries that about himself. And it's like, here's the ball, bro. Go do your thing. Like, I'll help guide you through a game sometimes. If you need a little bit of help, need a little bit of love, this is your game. Set the tone, go to work.
Yeah, and my last question here, you're talking about how you want to get him as many innings as you can while he's here. How do you personally, as the manager of this team, handle when a guy does go up, and obviously that's going to be a great thing for them, going up to the big leagues, getting that nod. How do you handle that on your side now, replacing him on the roster?
Yeah, well, like you're going to see, man, I do things different. And it's not to keep these guys like on their toes, but every weekend we are home, I will be having sim games. Like you're going to see tomorrow. Tomorrow I got 3 hitters I've never seen coming out. I got a pitcher I've never seen coming out, along with all our DL and inactive guys pitching live to hitters. And I have that going every week. I'll have some of our guys that want to get more ABs. Come on down, man. Get you a few more ABs. So everybody stays active. Everybody stays live. And I get tabs on arms that are in the area, or arms that's like, I know I can call this guy, boom. So I get to see those. So I have guys in wait, so to speak, without kind of holding guys hostage and saying, hey, just wait. Just give me a couple weeks and I'll bring you on. Like, no, I don't do that. Like, cause I want the hot hand. I want the guy who's fresh. I want to be able to do it that way. So I bring in guys every weekend. The other pitchers will see, like, who's this guy? It's like, he's not here to take your job, man. If you're focused on you, don't worry about your job. I was like, I just got to be ready because somebody gets picked up, somebody goes down. Like, I got to fill those gaps for the team. So I like to build that competition, baby. I like to breed it. So be ready.
That's awesome. I did not know about the sim games. That's really great to see. Some local talent here, and I guess that'll extend this question even further. When do you start looking, in the Frontier League at trades? Do those come to you, or are you actively monitoring those? How does that work?
The trades?
Yeah.
Trades specifically. So I'll keep a list. I got like on an Excel sheet. I got a list of players that on other teams that I like, guys that I've seen. I know the way they play. Like I know the character, and I know if he fits a certain role that I'm looking for on the team. Like, man, I wish I had a 2-hole like this, because I like the way he goes about his business. He takes pitches, man. He drives the ball all the way when he needs to. Like, man, okay, so I'll keep tabs on guys I like. And if I ever see those guys, like, I'm never going to offer up something because I'm never looking that way, like to bring somebody in for the team that I built, unless I do have a hole, somebody got picked up or whatever. But I'm more invested in my guys and how to get the best out of them, how to get them to play together. But, like I said, if I see somebody on another team, like, I like that guy, then I'll put his name down on my Excel sheet. And if I ever see his name go across the waivers, I'll be like, ooh, yeah, I liked him. Okay, where am I at right now? Does somebody need a new place to go? And I'll kind of do it that way. But those big times, like to get new guys, draft time, like, because, that time, it's, there's some players going to get missed in the draft, so you're trying to plug holes a little bit. But as far as looking for trades, I'm happy with what I got. I'm happy with what I got. And if I'm going to have a trade, you're typically going to see me trade somebody to another league or to another team for a player to be named. That way I can get the guy that I wanted to play some play. I want him to play. I want guys to continue on their careers. I don't want this to be the end-all just because you didn't make mine. I'm trying to help guys get a job and kind of keep tabs that way too. So.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to add here on this first edition?
No, man, I said, just don't let me open my mouth. It'll keep running. You cut me off. Number 2, got anything?
Yeah, just talk about athleticism. Who do you think you picked up that really adds to the team's agility?
The most athletic guy in the league, Ashton Creel. Hands down, he's one of the most athletic guys I've ever seen on a baseball field. The way he moves, he's really sharp as far as like his footwork's clean, and it's not even like he's a premium center fielder. So he's played at every single level in the Reds. So he's been around like really good elite coaching to talk about those little details, like the first step, the angle to a ball, like all those little things. Like he already did instinctually, but he's also been coached at a very high level how to do them. So he's super clean. Like you watch him on the bases, you watch him on the outfield. It's like, how did he get the stuff? How did he steal that bag? It's like he's so far ahead of the game as far as with his athleticism and tools, along with the high level of coaching. If I can just harness him a little bit and kind of help him, and I know Craig's gonna help him with his approach. The kid's athletic, man. TJ Reeves, the dude is a freak. Like he's a freak. Ed Johnson is a freak. These guys are athletes, man. Like they're all quick, short bursts. They work for it. The way their bodies are lean. They're athletic, baby. We are. And you've seen them. You've seen those guys. There ain't nobody out there on the position player side that you would not think is a baseball player. You know?
We saw Ashton Creel dunk yesterday. Right over
Between
down the
legs.
basket.
Yeah, between legs. I was walking up, saw him do a windmill, throw it out. Like, dude's a freak athlete, I'm telling you. But he's the one that adds the most to it. He is hell on the bases. Woo! Watch for some chaos to happen and other teams' defenses crumble and pitchers crumble with Ashton Creel on the bases.
Absolutely. You heard it here first from the manager. Watch out for Ashton Creel on the bases. That'll do it for this first edition of RnR Talk. As always, Rhoades and Ror here alongside Chad Rhoades. We will see you guys either at Thomas More Stadium tonight, 6:44 p.m., taking on the Quebec Capitales, or catch us on Flow Sports, 6:44 p.m., flowsports.tv. Anything else? No. Y'all have a good night.